Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you were new here, welcome. My name is Sarah and I post weekly what's for dinners. I will always have the recipes linked down below in the description box as well. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of my uploads. First, I have a taco pie for you. I have just ground up about 1.5 pounds of hamburger meat and some minced garlic, and I threw in 3 tablespoons of taco seasoning, and I'm going to mix that up really well, and this is going to be the base for the taco pie. Now you are going to put your meat mixture into a pie dish, round dish, really anything like that. And then you are going to mix together, we'll spread it around first, make it kind of like an even layer. And then separately you are going to mix together 6 eggs and 1 cup of heavy whipping cream. I know this seems kind of odd with all the eggs, at least I thought so when I was first making it, but it kind of, it's pretty rich topping, and the flavor from the taco seasoning and everything kind of comes through. It's a nice twist to a taco night or something like that. And of course you get all the fat, especially if you need it by the end of the day with a heavy whipping cream. But once you have all of that mixed together, you're going to pour it over the meat mixture and then top that with about 1 cup of shredded cheese. I believe, I have Colby Jack here, but you can use whatever you want. And then you're going to bake this in a 350 degree oven for about 25-30 minutes. Just whenever the center is set, you can take it out. Of course, you'll see it won't be so jiggly, but I believe it was exactly 25 minutes for mine. And I topped ours with just a little bit of sour cream and taco sauce, and it was so good. Next, I'm going to be making a low-carb Philly cheesesteak casserole. You're going to start by heating up a little bit of oil in a pan and tossing in a package of shaved steak. I don't know the exact weight on this. It was just an actual pre-made package, but you are going to brown that all up until it is thoroughly cooked through. I also sprinkled in some Famous Dave's steak seasoning, which you can use any steak seasoning you want. That's not the actual one I was going for. I could not find my Uncle Chris's, which would have been really good in this too. But if you do have that, the flavor in it, it really turned out great. But once you have all the meat cooked, you're going to take it out, and then at this point you're going to throw in your peppers and onions. I did not have any onions, so at some point I sprinkle in some minced onions just to kind of give it something of an onion type flavor. But you are going to brown up, saute, brown, whatever, up your onions and peppers now. And once you've browned them up a little bit, you're going to toss in about 1 tablespoon of minced garlic and then stir all that around. And then you're going to put in 2 ounces of softened cream cheese and kind of just give that a good stir. As you'll see, I also end up throwing in the meat mixture before the cream cheese was actually melted, because if you've ever done this with cream cheese, you know it's a pain to get all melty. Anyway, putting in the meat and just kind of tossing it really helped, as you will see. But once you have all this mixed together, you are going to place it in a 9x9 dish, or any small dish. Oh, there's the minced onion. I knew I threw it in at some point. Anyway, now you're going to throw that into a baking dish and start making your topping. And similarly to the keto pie, you're going to throw in 2 eggs and a half a cup of whipping cream and stir that up really well. And then you're going to pour it on top of your meat mixture. And it actually called for like the provolone slices, but I didn't have any, so I used mozzarella, and it still, turned out really good. This was even better than I thought it was going to be. The flavor was really good, and it could have possibly, like I said, been the steak seasoning I used. I put a pretty good bit in there. So when you make this, just be sure to go heavy on the seasoning with the meat. And like I said, it was really, really good. It was my husband's favorite of the week for sure. And now I'm going to be making a good old simple sheet pan meal that was ease-wise my favorite of the week. I love these kind of dinners. Anyway, you're going to just slice up 4 andouille sausages, or whatever sausages you want to use. These are just what I prefer. I love the flavor and a little bit of kick they have. But then you are going to cut up 2 zucchinis and try to get everything in about the same size so it cooks evenly. And then you are going to cut up a head of broccoli. And once you toss all that together with a little bit of olive oil, you are going to make a seasoning mixture, which was half a teaspoon of garlic powder, a quarter of a teaspoon of pepper, and a tablespoon of Old Bay seasoning. And as you will see once I get there, I just kind of added in half the seasoning, tossed it, added another little bit, and then tossed it. I just wanted to make sure everything was nice and coated. And now you are going to just dump it onto a sheet pan and make sure everything is, laying flat. And like I said earlier, will get cooked a lot more evenly. And you're going to throw it in a 400-degree oven for 10 minutes. And then you're going to take it out and flip everything and then put it back in for another 10 minutes. And that's it. And now I'm going to be making some zucchini fries and Truffle burgers, my favorite. You're going to start with the zucchini fries. You're going to mix together an egg and a tablespoon of homemade ranch, keto approved ranch. We always use the homemade now. And then you're going to, in another bowl, put a cup of almond flour, and then half a cup of Parmesan, a teaspoon of paprika, and about half a teaspoon of salt and pepper. And then I think that was about a teaspoon of garlic as well, and you're going to mix all that together. And then you are just going to throw all the zucchini fries that you have cut up in the egg mixture, the flour mixture, and put it on a sheet pan. And once you have them all ready on your sheet pan, you're going to bake them at a 400-degree oven for 15 minutes. And once the 15 minutes is up, you're going to take them out, flip them over, and bake them for another 10. And we dipped them in ranch, and it was so good. I guess I should add that was my first time having zucchini fries, and I absolutely loved them. It's a nice alternative. Of course, regular potato fries are better. Anyway, so now I'm going to be making chaffles for our bun. You're just mixing together here. I'm doing like a fathead dough. I mixed together a cup of mozzarella cheese and 2 eggs and a little bit of garlic salt. That's it. this is the recipe to make 4 of them, 2 buns, and you're just going to close it, and in a couple minutes it's all ready like that, and you're just going to repeat that for 4 more. I used 1/4 cup measuring that you could see to kind of get them about the same size. But then I just put some Duke's mayonnaise on mine. We just use those frozen burgers for quick like burger nights at home, and that's what I made, and then topped it with cheese and some bacon bits, and that was it. It's so nice because we love burgers in our house. It's always been one of our favorites, so we can still kind of have the feel like we are having a burger, and it is low carb. And lastly, I am going to be making a Keto Shepherds Pie, which was surprisingly delicious. I wasn't so sure how this was going to turn out because I feel like mashed potatoes make a shepherd's pie, but this was, like I said, we were all surprised. My non-cauliflower loving husband loved it. So anyway, as you can see, I'm steaming my cauliflower, just 1 head of cauliflower, and I am sauteing up about half of a small onion, not a whole lot of onion, about a tablespoon or so of garlic, minced garlic, and then you're going to saute that up for a couple minutes until it becomes fragrant, of course, and put in 2 tablespoons of coconut flour, and then you're going to, I think it was about a 1.5 cups of beef broth. I ended up like adding more, so that's why I was kind of hesitant. Anyway, with the flour initially before the broth, it would have helped a lot more if I had already. At this point, you should already have cooked your meat. Let me go ahead and just throw that in there, and the grease from the hamburger will help with the flour making the roux. I had already had some meat already cooked, which I use, so I didn't get that step of it, but like I said, the recipe will be linked down below. And I also added in some Worcestershire sauce too, just to give it a little extra kick. And I am using about 2 pounds of hamburger meat. Yeah, as you can see, I was adding in a little bit more beef broth as I went. So you just kind of eye it. You might be fine with the grease from the burger and all that stuff, or the ground beef, but mine definitely needed some more liquid. Anyway, the recipe doesn't call for this. It's a little bit extra carbs, but not much. But I threw in a can of green beans because we love it in our shepherd's pie. And then I flavored it with a pretty good bit of dried rosemary, seasoned salt, and then salt and pepper. I know even to me watching this, it seems like I went heavy on the seasonings, which I tend to do a lot anyway because everything tastes better when it's well seasoned. But this mixture was perfect, so don't think you're using too much if it looks like this. And once you have your meat mixture all stirred up, you're going to throw it in a 9 by 13 inch pan and then get started on your mashed cauliflower. I just threw all of the whole head of cauliflower that I steamed into my blender until it was completely pureed. And then I added in 2 tablespoons of butter, about 1/4 cup of sour cream, salt and pepper, and then just mix it up really well. And then you're going to just put this on the meat mixture and spread it around evenly, and then top that with some cheese and throw it in a 350-degree oven for 25 minutes. I was, like I said, pleasantly surprised at how the consistency of the cauliflower with, everything that you typically put in for mashed potatoes, the way it came out, because it really was as close to potatoes as you could get. I was, like I said, pleasantly surprised. Even my kids like this one, which is a big old win. But I appreciate y'all watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more weekly, or mostly weekly, What's for Dinners. Thank you.